I refused to give my parents the first grandchild after they disowned me. I'm Jessica, 27 years old, living in Columbus, Ohio. Back when I was 19, my life changed in ways I never imagined. I found out I was expecting a baby with my high school sweetheart, Jason. We had been together for a while, and while the timing wasn't what anyone would call perfect, I knew deep inside that I wanted to keep my child. My parents, Richard and Linda, were very traditional and very strict. When I told them, everything flipped upside down. They said I was throwing away my future, that I was being careless, and they made it clear I had to choose. Either place the baby with another family or be completely cut off. It was the hardest decision of my life, but I chose my son. I wasn't going to give him up just because it didn't fit their picture of what life should look like. And just like that, I was out. No financial help. No emotional support. No calls. No visits. Nothing. The first couple years were brutal. I worked nights at a grocery store, babysat on weekends, and took classes during the day. I stretched every dollar until it practically tore in half. Jason helped for a while, but eventually, we went separate ways. Still, I never let myself give up. I graduated from Ohio State, found a steady job in marketing, and slowly built a life for my little boy, Ethan. He became my whole world. His laugh, his energy, his stubborn little streak. He kept me moving forward even on the hardest days. And through all of that, my parents never once reached out. I didn't hide from them. I sent updates on where we were living, even mailed a holiday card once. But they never responded. It was like Ethan and I didn't exist to them. Years passed. I learned how to be independent, how to create joy in small ways. By the time Ethan turned 7, we had our own little routines, our traditions, our family. Just us two. Then everything shifted again. My younger sister, Madison, had her first baby last year. Suddenly, my parents became obsessed with being grandparents. They threw her a massive baby shower, posted on Facebook every other day about their first grandchild, and acted like they had just unlocked this new stage of life. I stayed quiet. Sure, it stung. But I told myself it wasn't worth the drama. Madison and I still had a decent relationship, and I didn't want to ruin that. But then, out of nowhere, my parents reached out to me. After 7 years of silence, they said they wanted to reconnect. That Ethan was actually their first grandchild, and they regretted missing out. They said he deserved to know his real family. The words hit me like a punch. Where were they when I was sleeping 3 hours a night just to finish papers and pay rent? Where were they when Ethan had his first steps, his first day of kindergarten, his birthdays? They weren't there. Not once. And now, because it suddenly felt convenient for them, they wanted back in? I told them no. I said they made their choice a long time ago, and Ethan and I weren't just going to be their second chance. They didn't take it well. They said I was being unfair, punishing them for old mistakes. They acted like I was selfish for protecting the life I'd built. Madison even tried to convince me I should reconsider for Ethan's sake. She said grandparents are important, that he deserved to have that connection. But here's the thing. I refuse to let my son be treated like a backup plan. He's not some box they get to check off to make themselves feel better. He's a whole person with feelings, with memories, with a mom who has always been there for him. I don't need my parents suddenly parading around like they've been supportive all along. Ethan doesn't need to be confused or hurt by people who once decided he wasn't worth sticking around for. It's strange, though. Even with all the anger, part of me still wonders. Would it help Ethan to have more family around? Would it give him something I couldn't give alone? But then I remember. Family isn't just blood. Family is the people who show up, who stay, who love without conditions. And by that definition, Ethan already has everything he needs. So for now, my decision stands. I'm not opening the door to people who slammed it in my face years ago. I worked too hard, and Ethan deserves better than half-hearted love. What do you think? Am I being too harsh, or am I right to keep that boundary?